Hi, I'm Jim from Left Wing Libertarian.
And I am Anna from BeautyGirlsMom.com.
It's Super Bowl party season.
It certainly is. Coming up in just a couple of weeks, we have the Super Bowl, Carolina Panthers, Denver Broncos. Should be a fabulous time.
My money were on the Eagles, but whatever.
My money's on the Puppy Bowl. Can't win.
So,
can't lose.
We're going to be doing a series of short videos over the next couple of days to give you quick tips for your Super Bowl party.
Today our tip is about
Bread.
Bread is something
The band.
Not the band. Bread is something that some people overlook or go at the last minute for the bread for their Super Bowl party. Lots of things you can do with bread for your Super Bowl party. Very popular this year are the pull-apart breads. You can take a round loaf of bread, any kind of bread that you like. You can cut diagonals in it. And everywhere that you have cut, you stuff it with cheese, pepperoni. You can stuff it with something savory, depending on the type of bread that you buy.
For those people like me who don't pay attention when you go to Wegmans, this is the thing that looks like a deflated basketball or like a half of a ball.
Yes.
And then you make diagonal cuts across the top and then criss cuts, and then I guess you fill it with stuff.
Fill it with stuff, and then you pop it in the oven. Everything melts. It gets all ooey gooey, and then when your guests arrive, they can pull it apart, and it's a nice little snack.
If you don't have an oven, can you cook it in a microwave?
I wouldn't cook it in the microwave. Bread in the microwave gets funky. The other thing that you can do with those nice round bread bowls is dip. Old-fashioned spinach dip. It's something that everybody knows how to do. If you get just the Knorr's packaged spinach dip mix, that'll tell you how to do it. But basically what you do, again, with these rounds of bread, any kind of bread that you like, is you cut out the center part.
Don't throw it away. Put it to the side. You're going to use it later in step 4.
You leave a hole in the center that you can use with spinach dip, hoagie dip, any kind of like hearty dip that you're going to want to dip bread into. Then you take the top that you've pulled out, you cut it into cubes. There are also gluten-free options. So ask if your baker doesn't have it, find out where you can get some gluten-free bread. It really makes a nice dip. It's something a little heartier, and especially if you have a lot of guys coming over for a football party, or just big eaters in general that want something more than just like a cracker and cheese or something. It gives them something a little more substantial.
If you're on a budget for your party, this is something else to consider. The few dollars or the few pennies more you'll spend for this, you're going to get way more hearty food for everybody than a big bag of chips and nachos.
And they will eat less. If you buy chips that are now at the store for the big bag, $5 a bag, you might go through 2 bags. I mean, it's a long game. You've got the big halftime show. People are there watching the commercials. They may come, early. They might stay a little bit later for something. So give them something a little more substantial. Again, talking about substantial, if you're going to crock pot something like meatballs and sausage or roast pork or roast beef, something that has gravy, don't forget a nice hearty roll to put it in. You don't want to use bread, even if it's pumpernickel or rye, something that's a little bit firmer. The turkey and the gravy is going to melt right through. It's going to make a soggy mess. That's going to make a mess of your house. So consider what you're serving and get bread that's going to accommodate the meals that you have.
And by bread and rolls, of course, we mean amorosos.
We don't do amorosos, but we live in a place where we have a local baker that does nothing but rolls. We get them fresh, hot, right off of the thing. They're wonderful. But you can find them in your grocery store. A nice Kaiser roll or a nice torpedo roll, depending on the kind of sandwiches you're going to make.
If you've never done this before, go to the store now and get a small bag of them and try it out this weekend before you go invest in 2 or 3 dozen of these for your party.
Another thing I want to say about bread, even if you are not serving hot meals, you're serving cold sandwiches, plain white bread is not going to cut it. Especially, again, if you have big eaters, a lot of guys coming over for a football party, even kids that tend to pile stuff on a sandwich.
Beefsteak rye.
Beefsteak rye, something that is heartier. You don't want a plain white bread that's going to get soppy or messy or not really be able to accommodate a variety of toppings. If you have anything like the corned beef specials or the roast beef specials, something with pastrami that you're going to want a lot of meat or a lot of cheese, mayonnaise, mustard, it gets soggy if you use plain white bread. So consider what you're serving when you're deciding what kind of bread to use.
And of course, for the halftime entertainment, don't forget to have one slice of white bread and a stopwatch for the entire party. For
the white bread challenge,
which you can find on the video channels or in the comments below, where Anna will post a link to the previous video.
None of us completed the white bread challenge.
But you know what? Something to try and do over the Super Bowl.
Another thing I just want to say real quick, if you go to a local place like Wegmans, we went to Wegmans the other day, we bought a variety of bread because we were having chili. Again, something that you want, you could serve that in small bread bowls. If you want to do something, step it up your game a little bit for the Super Bowl, you can serve chili or hot chowders or something thick. You don't want to do like a broth or a chicken noodle soup, but you can.
What is the ladder on this stepping up your game? I guess at the bottom it's a paper plate, and then it's a football-shaped paper plate or something the color, and then...
I'm just saying, if you want individual, nice meals, you can do soups and chowders and chilies in a smaller version of these round bread bowls. But to go back to what I was going to say, Wegmans, places like that have a variety of rolls that you can walk in and you can choose. One of the rolls that we chose the other day was a rosemary scented flavored roll. Might not go well with all of your menu options. We had chili, not something that went good with chili. We were able to eat it for something else, but keep that in mind. If you're going to buy bread or rolls or something, what are you having to eat? And is this roll going to taste good when they dunk it into your chowder or your chili?
Okay, back to your party budget. Since it's bread, and you might be thinking, it's bread, it cost me $5. No, you can actually spend quite a bit of money if you're not careful. Get the things that you need, get the pieces you want, but make sure you're also spending your money wisely. Things like, as she said, instead of getting Stroman, Wonder Bread, whatever, in the roll, get the hearty beefsteak rye, get the pumpernickel, get the other kinds. You can use it for sandwiches the rest of the week. Mm-hmm. The other thing is, we live right next to a bakery that we can walk into, and there's a giant 200-foot oven that you can pick stuff up at the end of the rack. Rolls there cost about 10 to 25 cents coming off the rack. At Wegmans, they were a little fancier, 75 cents each. If you got 50 people coming to your party, the bread certainly will up your budget. But again, shop, with a little bit of...
Shop around, look for your local bakers. A lot of the bakeries in our area, not every baker does a selection of breads and rolls and stuff, but we do have not only the bakery down the street, which does primarily rolls, but we also have other local bakers. Snowflake rolls are very popular thing at McMillan's for, hot ham and cheese sandwiches or something like that. So call your local bakers, call around, see if you can get a better price so that you can serve the kind of rolls that you want to serve without breaking the bank.
Check at your local Italian restaurant where you go to get a pie, which some of you may call a pizza. But, ask them, where do they get their rolls? Do they bake it fresh? You've got lots of options to get stuff. It's a small thing, and that's why we started out with it first. It's a way to really up your game and make your party a real success.
And very easy if you end up with soft rolls. You take them out of the plastic
Ziploc bag and
you
throw them in the freezer.
Not throw them. You can't eat them. Just cut them in half, pop them in the oven. You can put a little bit of butter on them, toast them up a little bit, and those make nice sandwiches. So if you do end up maybe getting them the day before, now they've been in the plastic bag overnight and they're a little bit soft, a little bit squishy on the outside, just pop them under your broiler, toast them up a little bit, and they're phenomenal.
And if you have any left over, you could have a South Philly breakfast, which is cup of tea and a buttered roll.
Buttered roll.
Yeah.
I am Anna from BeautyGirlsMom.com. We're going to try and give you a few more Super Bowl party tips the rest of this week. So just hit the subscribe button wherever it appears on your screen.
And we'll see you real soon.
Pulled out into cubes, and you can use that for people to dip into.
Special effects on the side.
You're special, all right. The other types of bread, if you're going to have something hot...
Wait, I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
It's probably not. If you're going to have